All right, let's make this review real short. The Jotunheim is the best thing Schiit's ever made. Period. I've played with the rag a little bit. I obviously had the Bifrost and everything. And all of them have been real cute. This is it. This is what you buy from them. If you're going to buy anything from them, if you're going to buy a DAC amp combo and you want it, or if you just want an amp, here it is. Now, I bought this one. Thank you, Patreon. Link in the corner. I bought this one as soon as it came out. And I bought it with the DAC option, because you see this module here, you can get this with nothing, which makes the unit $400, and it's just an amp. You can get it with the bi-mono DAC for an extra $100, so it makes the whole thing $500. Or you can get this where it's a phono input, so you get a phono controller in this for vinyl. That's a legitimate thing. Also $100, fine. So, for $500, you get this. And it is their, well, actually, it's their second DAC app combo when you get it with the DAC, and the other one being the Schiit Fulla, which was cute. Everyone thinks it's cute. We'll look at what we got. On the front, we've got it, the name of it, which you're going to need to look at this to see how it's spelled every once in a while. Jotunheim. Jotunheim. You get a input switch from DAC, XLR, RCA. Then you get high-low gain. You got a nice, big, fat, smooth volume knob. It's poorly indicated. There's your little pissant dot right there. You got a power indicator LED. You got a 1/4-inch output, and you get an XLR output. Now, when I bought the Arist over there, a lot of people said, "Well, what the hell does it cost $1,000? It doesn't even have a 4-pin." And I'm not going to get into it fully in this, I don't think, because I have the Oppo Ha-1 in the other room, and I might get more into detail with it there. But there's a physical, electrical benefit to using 4-pin XLR, to using that, to using this. And what that does is, see, when you have a normal headphone, you get a connector like this, and it's got a tip, which is usually the right, and it's got a ring, which is usually the left, and then it's got this bit that is shared ground for both. Shared. And the problem with having anything shared is there is some, you know, you're sending electrical current from both the left and the right down, and you can lose separation. It's not a huge deal, or else it would have been done with years ago. You could barely tell the difference, but there is a difference. So when you go with a 4-pin, the left and right each get a ground and each get a hot, and it's completely separated. All the way down through this separate left and right amps, through the separate left and right inputs. And in fact, when you turn this thing on, it takes a second to sort itself out, and by a second I mean like 8 seconds before sound comes out of it. And then it comes on left channel, then right channel, using either the regular headphones or the XLR, because everything is separate. The back, I did the front, then I talked about things. Let's look at the back now. So here's the module for USB. Here are the balanced inputs. So if you have another DAC, like if I wanted to use the Emotiva XDA1 as my DAC, I could just have skipped this, saved $100. This unit would have been $400, and I would just plug in there. Or if you want to use any other DAC, you got a Sanskrit, you got an ODAC, you got an Aoun, and you just want some more power to add onto your Aoun, you throw it right here with the RCA inputs. Then you get pre-outs, so volume-controlled pre-outs here in RCA form and in XLR form. So you get 2 sets of pre-outs. And then back here you get the power switch, which I will complain about in a minute. And there's your full-size power plug. So loaded with things and stuff everywhere. If you get it with the DAC in it for $500, this is a fucking steal. Because the DAC is exceptional. I've output to the thing and I compare it, and it's great. It's as good or better than all the DACs I recommend. Just for $100, you can't get a DAC that good. A dual mono is just, I have nothing. There's no reason. Shit's kicking themselves in the ass a little bit because They're getting rid of reasons to buy their other products. Which is fine. It's fine with me. In fact, even on their page, where is it? Hold on. Description. Experiencing a production delay due to high demand. 5 to 7 day delay. Blah, blah, blah. 21st, 20, blah, blah. Yeah. It said something along the lines of, separate DAC and amps are, so 90s or so last year. And it is almost the case. Very rarely you will buy a DAC and then an amp and then need to upgrade the DAC part. The amp, maybe. You want more and more power. But what the Jotunheim does is it provides fucking endless amounts of power. I mean, it makes the airists over there blush a little bit. The single-ended headphone out, which is a normal standard quarter-inch, at 32 ohms you get 1.5 watts, which is the same as the Magni 2 Uber, which is plenty. Then the balanced output, the 4-pin, at 32 ohms you get 5 watts. And at 16 ohms you get 7.5 watts. So I'm just like, I'm trying to calculate now in my brain if that's summed or individual. Oh, I'm going to puke channels. Balanced DAC mono. It's an AK4490 balanced USB DAC, proprietary Schiit pivot point, full discrete differential current feedback topology. Whatever. Point is, this should be the most sold thing on Schiit's site, and when people come to me with a budget of about 500, this is it. Just get this. No. Still yes, but this is $200. This is to buy just this as an amp is $400, and that pretty much eliminates the need to buy anything else from Schiit that's even close to that as far as amps go. Look at that nice list. So you got the Magni 2, the Valley 2 doesn't count, the Asgard for $250. This destroys that. The Valhalla 2, which is we're going back to the Valhalla 2 is also tube. The Lear 2 is tube. Is the Lear 2 tube? Yeah, Lear 2 tube. So we're not going to count. We can't count it to fight against tubes. But solid state solution finished. All right, turn it on. Do I need to read any more specs off this page for you guys? 6-stage discrete, 70,000 UF total capacitance. Yeah, it's a monster. It's a goddamn monster. Is it going to play? Click, click. Hear the relays? Click, click. Maybe you heard them. So we'll start it with low gain. Obviously on USB, and I don't have anything else plugged into it. I'm not controlling any powered monitors with them. I'll give the start here with the Mayflower ones. The Mayflower modded T50 RPs. So low gain. Maxed out on low gain. It's loud. It's loud for most people, but you never want to max out an amp. So if you have a high gain, let's switch to it. And then the sound picks right up. And it's not just because these headphones are amazing, which they are. One of the best T50 mods I've ever heard, minus what's going on there. So there's 2 o'clock. That's about as hard as you'll ever have to push any headphone. Ever. Oh, the separation. Actually, you want to hear the... because when you shut off the power, the DAC doesn't shut off. So I don't get an error. I can still play music. Let's get something louder. That's a good feature. Thank you, Schiit, for doing that. The DAC is USB powered. So this module is completely separate on its own. Right now doing its thing. I could unplug it, I think. Yes. I could unplug it and it's not saying, oh, error, error, so that's good. The DAC is running just like an ODAC where you plug it in and it's just running. So now let's... You're not going to be able to hear this because the GoPro is mono. But I'm going to flip this on. See how long it takes for sound. That was a while. That was a while. Takes a while. A while. Why are you saying while like that? And it turns, I don't know, you couldn't tell it was doing left and right, but you definitely heard it come on and then come on a little louder. And that was because it was doing left channel, then right channel initialization. You can run both of these ports at the same time. That's something that the Oppo Ha1 won't do, and probably this shouldn't do, because I could plug my 600s here. Gotta twist it. Which I bought a balanced cable for my 600s. It also works in the TH610s, because I wanted to try those out, so it was a worthwhile investment. eBay, like 70 bucks. Until I learned to build them myself or have a contact. So, we're on high gain, and these are allowed there. 1030. And these could definitely go up a lot more. So having them both function at the same time is sort of dangerous. Because if you leave two things plugged in, if you have both types and you turn one up loud enough, you may blow the other one up. So I don't recommend it. Don't recommend running two at the same time. I love this wire, by the way. Oh. Drink it. Yeah. Power and separation. Yeah, I don't complain. I don't like praise amps or DACs unless I do something really, really well. And just the fact that this has a 4-pin was the reason I grabbed it. And I'm like, all right, well, I have an Aris, so why do I need this? And that's because I have a computer desk there, which I have the TEC 101DA, and it has a decent headphone out. But if I'm reviewing as many headphones as I'm reviewing, I don't want to be locked to this desk to do it. So I could put this on my gaming computer under the monitor over there, and I could use whatever I have lying around that people have sent me so I could test with it. And that's when the problem of turning it on and off happens. You see, this gets hot. Not super hot, not too hot, but warm. Like, you do not want to just leave this running all night. So that means you have to shut it off, which right here is fine. I'm just on and off, just like that. But most of you don't have it sitting in the middle of your desk. You're going to have it tucked away, behind, under something. In my case, under the monitor there. And that meant every time I went to turn it on and off, I had to yank it out sideways to turn it on and off. So it's been fun shit brands. But you see all this space here? It's for a product like this, it's time to put another switch like this right here for power. All right? Or make the volume knob go click to turn it on. Something that is more convenient than reaching behind it, because it's now become an inconvenience for me, and that's all that matters in the world is if Zeos is inconvenienced. So, I mean, put it on the side, put it somewhere that's just not in the back. For a DAC, you never want to shut it off anyway. But for an amp that gets hot, for a tube amp, anything that gets warm that needs to shut off, it should be a convenient ability to turn it on and off. And this is not anymore. Again, sitting out here, it's no problem. But tucking it away, putting it under something else, that's now it's a trip to do. Oh. Right. So, it has infinite power. Basically infinite power. Like, you don't need any more power. Is it the most powerful amp? It beats or at least matches the Huron. And that's a certainty. And it comes with the DAC. When you order it with the DAC, without the DAC, it's 400 versus 1,000. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson is just, he's here. Yeah, even on low, rock with me these 1000s. Sunlight, gonna rock with you. Okay, I can't start singing Because then people will request it, and there'll be a whole other Patreon for just me doing singing, and it'll be bad. I'm a believer in the 4-pin. I'm not prepared to send you all off to become believers too, because I don't think a lot of you are ready for it. But there is a benefit. I could tell. That's why I bought the cable for the 600s, because that's a headphone I've used consistently with the shared ground, with the standard, you know, three pole, 1/4 inch. It's what I've used. So when I put this cable on it, and then listen to the exact same stuff I've been listening to for years. That was weird. I know that there's a benefit to it. Why every headphone doesn't do it? Well, just fucking ask Apple. They like to remove things. That would be great if Apple decided to remove the 3.5 millimeter and replaced it with a micro. Actually, I have a player here that has it. Here you go. This Pioneer has it. See that? That's a 4-pin XLR equivalent micro headphone balance thing. Put that on there, Apple. Then I'd actually respect you. But you don't. Because you're just going to make it some stupid proprietary bullshit. Where are we? Oh. Yeah. Everything plugged in this is now a little bit extra enjoyability. If you want to start a bass, this is like the starter audiophile setup, because once you have this, you've got XLR outputs for powered monitors, which I'm presuming those are not going to be effective with this. You got to still unplug everything, because I don't have them hooked up now to test right now. But you could RCA output to a tube, or if you have a tube with XLRs, ins and outs. It's got everything you need just to make this the central hub for your audiophile obsession. I can't wait to get to this review. They're amazing. So, this is heavy, by the way. This is like heavy. Like that was heavy, and I opened it up and there wasn't much in there. This is heavy, and it doesn't. I don't think it's like a plate of steel in here. This is just. I mean, there's pictures. Wait, let's go. Let's look at pictures real quick, because I don't want to go. Yeah, that big that fucking transformer is buried in here somewhere. There's also little LEDs in there, glowing orange, which is cute. They indicate it's being orange, but it's not a... There's a DAC board. That's what the DAC board looks like. There are the giant capacitors. There is the volume pot. Look at the size of that monster. No wonder it's... Because it's doing four individual... This is doing every bit of these all separate. Oh. Yeah. This is it. This is the shit that you want. They got the shit that you want and the shit that you need. I approve. Zeos fucking approves. Zeos bought it, and Zeos approves. So, this is as high as you should need to go. Ever. Unless you skew off the path and head towards tubes. Perfect.